into our next trip. So
yeah.
Yes.
And Mom, you were.
Hey, Ramona, how are you? And hi, I haven't seen y'all in forever.
Hi, Ann. Hi, Margaret.
Hello. Okay, so I think I did it. We'll see here.
Margaret, it's being live streamed. I got a message saying it was.
Oh, it does say it? Okay, perfect. Yeah. Got it. Okay, yay. All right. So here we are for week 1 of the Boss Babe Game Changer series. What I'm going to do is go ahead and share my screen to show you guys the featured NSD for today. So let me get this pulled up here for us. So the National Sales Director that we are going to hear from today is Jan Thetford, and she's originally from Texas. And she was a social worker before Mary Kay. I love just some of the key points in her of her Mary Kay, story is just about how she's a master organizer, and she loves people, of course. She is someone who just absolutely has mastered the art of time management, I think, and the 6 most important list. So it's kind of funny reading through her bio here and everything, and then when you hear her Voxer, it just kind of goes hand in hand. So it's just sort of funny how it all goes together here. So let's go ahead and jump in, listen to Jan, and then just take notes when you hear anything that pops out in your brain that you want to write down, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Okay, so go ahead. I'm going to make sure, give me a thumbs up if you can hear her as well.
Well, hello, everybody, and Happy New Year, Mary Kay Consultants and Directors. This is Jan Thetford, National Sales Director, making this message Lubbock, Texas. As we go into a brand new year, I am so honored to be able to share with you a game-changing moment that I had in my business probably about 30 years ago. Now, I had been in Mary Kay 42 years. I started when I was 23. I'll let you guys do the math, but I've learned a lot, oh my goodness, about myself and about attitude management and money management and time management and business management. And, fortunately or unfortunately, I guess, depending on how you look at it, most of the things I have learned that have been beneficial to me, I learned through the hard way. I learned through making mistakes. I learned through recognizing, this isn't going to work. And you guys, I believe that regardless of what season of life you are in, where you live in the country, how much time you are currently choosing to give your Mary Kay business, I believe that all of us get to a place where if we want Mary Kay to be a viable part of our lives, if we can deem it important enough to give it X amount of hours of time, then we've got to figure out how to work it around our lives. Many of you listening to me today are young, no kids, not married. Many of you that are listening are married with young kids or teenage kids or young adult kids or grandkids, aging parents. Some of you are living with people that are starting to retire. Some of you are living with people that are working 2 or 3 jobs. I mean, y'all, it is just such a universal business that I believe every single person that chooses to work Mary Kay the way that it's designed to work can be successful. Now, we all have reasons, I think, that legit ones that come along through life that keep us from being able to be as on top of our businesses as we would like to be, whether it be illness or deaths or some type of emergency or tragedy. So that I'm kind of moving that out of the picture, but because those are the exceptions. For the most part, guys, I believe that the reason that women do not make it in Mary Kay on all the stuff with all the training and the great products and all the support is because we do not work intentionally. A game-changing moment for me, I remember what I had on the day I decided that I was tired of my business running me. And if I were going to make it and maintain a home that I thought was somewhat peaceful, thrive in the business, keep my marriage afloat, not have anybody jump off a building, I was going to have to get a grip on and work my business with intentionality. That day came. I had small kids, and it's late afternoon with small children. It's so hard, because it's too early for bedtime and too late for everything else. And many times they're fussy. And I was trying to throw some supper together, and had the kids, and I had a customer call, and she was unhappy with me because 4 or 5 days earlier she had placed an order, and I had just not had my act together enough to get it to her. And so I threw the kids in the car. We drove across town, delivered that product, got her somewhat happy. On the way home, I remember getting a little teary-eyed, and I thought, oh my gosh, Jen, you cannot do this. You love it, but you got to get a grip, man. You got to figure this out. And that was the day, the game-changing day, that I decided I was going to work with intentionality. Y'all, we are created by our Father in heaven for progress. We are. It's the way we're wired. And when we're not progressing, we do one of two things. We either quit, or we get frustrated and get really negative, and then everything is harder than it's supposed to be, and all the things. So I'm going to challenge you with a new thought today. What if, as we start this new year, you were to make intentional effort to building your business and staying on track? By nature, myself, Jen Thetford, I do not dot I's and cross T's very well. I am not a real detailed person. Follow-up has always been challenging for me. So therefore, one of the things I recognized during this time is that I was going to have to put systems in place that helped me stay intentional. Do y'all know that the base word, the Greekest or most original form of the word ambition, is the same as the word frustration? Isn't that interesting? That when we are frustrated, it truthfully stems from the fact that God created us, as I said, for progress, and therefore we are ambitious. And so when we are looking at a business where we are an independent contractor and the buck really does stop with us, we've got to make that decision to work intentionality. Now, the layman's definition of intentionality is just Jen Thetford's definition is, I'm going to do something on purpose. I'm going to make time for it. It's not going to be an afterthought. It's not going to be if everything works out perfectly and I have time. It's not going to be when I get everything else done. It's intentionally, intentionally, I'm going to work my Mary Kay business around all the other crazy in my life. And I'm going to do it. And I want to give you 4 tools today that have helped me through the years work with intentionality. Guys, honestly, if I could just be so bold, we got to quit blaming the government, goodness gracious, and God, and our families, and our children for what we as independent contractors have not been willing to do. Let's just face it. We've not been willing to. Now, if you don't want to, this message will not help you today. I mean, we've all got to have that desire, but if you are willing to, oh my goodness, the world is, it's filled with growth opportunities, guys. This business is second to none on support and encouragement and great products and great integrity. All the things that people want, really, we've got in Mary Kay, but they don't serve us any purpose if we don't tap into them. Okay, so back to my 4 things. Number 1, weekly plan sheet. Y'all, we know this. We've heard other people say it. Time spent one place is time spent away from something else. When I decided to get intentional, I decided to start scheduling the time I would work Mary Kay. Now, I could talk an hour on that today, and I won't. But if you have not been doing a weekly plan sheet where you sit down over the weekend and you look at everything on your plate for the next week, whether it be your full-time job or your home schedule or your children's schedule, you get that on paper, and then you find the pockets of time in there that you can do your IPA activity in Mary Kay, the booking, coaching, selling, recruiting. It can all be done. And it may not be done in big old chunks of time. It may be done 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. I mean, when I was working full-time and working Mary Kay and I got intentional, then my lunch hour changed a little bit. I was either running errands or running deliveries or making a few phone calls. And now we've got all these great ways to communicate, and we can do that, but you've got to make that decision to be intentional. So a weekly plan sheet puts your life on paper 24 hours a day. and you can get a grip. Now, do those schedules always work out perfectly? No, they do not. Somebody wakes up with a stomach bug at 8:30 in the morning and your whole day's changed. But for the most part, that gives us a track to run on. And then, y'all, you can build a life with Mary Kay around your priorities. And we do have the flexibility to work when we want to work and can work, but we got to work at some point or we're not going to have those benefits. So I made a decision. These are the nights I'm going to work. Am I willing to work another night? If I had to, yes, I would. Those are the exceptions. But I got into a habit, that I would work my Monday nights, Tuesday nights, have one more event sometime during the week, and Saturday mornings. And then the kids started playing sports on Saturday, so I had to shift that schedule. It's totally up to your call, right? But it was intentionality. I knew that if I put my week on paper, I could segue into paper number 2, and that's my goals. I worked with goals. I always do because that's my track to run on. So if my goal was to sell 300 that week, or to put Mary Kay on 5 Faces that week, or to get a new team member that week, whatever I needed to do, I had to make sure that the activity to do that was supported in my weekly plan sheet. And so that's when I started breaking it down into what we lovingly call IPAs, income producing activities. Our friend Mary Kay Emeritus Bette Vernon, she was the one who came up with IPAs years and years and years ago. And we just created them. I mean, we've recreated and created and done, and they are wonderful. But let me tell you why this is so important with intentionality. When you have an IPA checklist in front of you, then you are doing what you need to do to grow your business. Y'all, and then most of us are like, I don't mind, Jan. I don't mind doing what I need to do, but I don't know what to do. This tells us what to do every day. And if you have just a smidgen of time on this crazy day and you can get 2 IPAs done, then you've moved your business forward with intentionality. So I know that Karen will be attaching and sending some of these support materials with you, and the weekly plan sheet and an IPA sheet, so that you can say, I got 1 hour today in between ball games to work my Mary Kay, and I'm going to get these things done. I'm not just going to sit around and worry about it. Third thing, y'all, you've heard about a bubble sheet, haven't you? I'm sure you have. National Sales Director Tammy Craig made them famous years ago. I love bubble sheets. Do you know why? Because I can intentionally work the volume with the numbers that are necessary to get results. We're never going to be 3 for 3, y'all, ever. Nobody is ever that talented. It's never going to work 3 for 3. So I know that I've got to make 10 attempts to get 3 yeses. I know that. And so once I use this bubble sheet, and every week I make sure that I have made that 56 contacts, and they're not all going to be yeses. Some of them are going to be no's, but that moves my business forward. Okay, my last piece of paper. You ready? Weekly accomplishment sheet. Also generated by Mary Kay Corporate. Also on InTouch. Now, the IPA sheet and the bubble sheet we get from the field, from people in the sales force. The weekly plan sheet and the weekly accomplishment sheet we get from Mary Kay. Why the weekly accomplishment sheet? Because, guys, it tells you what you're doing. It tells you how much money you've made. It tells you how many contacts you've done. It tells you what you've given away in hostess credit. It tells you what you're paying in tax. It tells you how many hours you're working. It tells you if you're making money, how much money you are making, where your money's coming from. It is an amazing sheet. And they're called weekly accomplishment sheets, y'all, for a reason. They're weekly, not monthly or bi-yearly, right? Or annually when you're doing your taxes. Oh my goodness. So here's where I want to leave you all today, guys, with those 4 pieces of paper. Weekly plan sheet, IPA sheet, bubble sheet, weekly accomplishment sheet. If you just chunked everything else you were working with, you don't have to, but you incorporate these 4 things, you are going to work with intentionality. And consultants, you may have some questions about each one of those, and your director can answer that for you because she's worked with them herself and she's leading you by her example. Oh my goodness, guys, the value of working with intentionality. You know, success and moving forward in a business like Mary Kay is hard because we don't have systems. It's not hard because it's hard. We work with people, we work with a great product, it's fun, but we have to keep ourselves on track. So whether you're working Mary Kay part-time or more on a full-time basis right now, there's no sense in you having to do it halfway just because you're not giving it as many hours as maybe you're giving something else. So in this new year, just make that commitment. I'm going to work with intentionality. I'm going to get checklists. I'm going to have things to do lists. I'm going to put my goals on paper and check off every day. I'm going to work with intentionality and not just hope that something happens, but I'm going to do the work that will assure that my business will grow. Happy New Year, everybody.
Okay. Wow. She gave a lot of a lot of information, huh? And all of those things that she shared, have you guys heard about them before? No, never. Yeah. What's an IPA sheet? What's a bubble sheet? Never heard of that. What's a weekly accomplishment sheet? Never heard of that. It just kind of reminded me, and just so you guys know, each one of these weeks that we do, they're different in kind of what they focus in on. I know next week's is only like 5 minutes. Our featured national for next week is Linda Tupin, and she just kind of gets right to it. But anyway, this one was really kind of full of those meat and potatoes reminders of, oh yeah, I do have to really get consistent if I'm not moving the way or at the pace I want to, get more consistent about getting back to basics and doing the weekly plan sheet, doing the, bubble sheets and stuff like that. So, it's kind of funny, Mary Kay, right? We never really hear something brand new because we know what works really works. And we just kind of sometimes veer away from it and get distracted. And that's totally okay. But I love the fact that, at any time you can kind of pick up wherever you are and just get back to the basics. All right, let's plan our time. Let's really see what's going on here. So feel free to unmute if you guys want to just share anything, a takeaway or something that kind of hit you or reminded you of something. You can go ahead and share. So I'll open it up there.
Okay, I gotta just say really quickly, I was laughing because how did I start off this? Oh, I don't have a schedule. And what is the first thing she says? And I was like, okay, it's that simple. So, I mean, I think it's just funny that you kind of like think all the things, like, I think more of like, I haven't done anything. I don't know where to begin. And we're just starting. It doesn't matter how many years ago that you've been involved. I mean, even all 4 of us have been exposed in all different levels of it. And it kind of cracked me up. So I'm just excited to even just be a part of it. No matter whatever I do with it, it's all up to me. So I thought that was really neat. So I was just laughing. I'm so sorry. It sounded like I was like, okay, hi.
I know. I chuckled at that too because I had heard it already. And when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny.
Right.
It's always there for us. Okay,
Right.
Ramona, you're unmuted. What would you like to
I
share?
am unmuted. Well, the same thing. Stacy's life sounds a little bit like my life. Just get up and go, and we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, it's a little bit spontaneous. So probably, just carving out some time each week. I mean, it literally would have to be different every week. Would be amazing if I reconnected with all my customers. Just to do that alone, I was thinking, this could be very simple for me to increase in sales and actually get excited about that. So we've all heard this before, and but I'm really happy to have it kind of plugged back into my brain.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what's great, about Mary Kay is we do it when we want to, and it works around, like she finished up, talking about her for game changing moments and stuff, that it all goes back to you do you, and you figure out what works best for you and your lifestyle and what's going on. And it's not like Mary Kay has to disappear. You just find a new kind of way of weaving it in, and kind of make it fun and interesting. But just that intention, even of, okay, well, at least once a week or so, I'm going to at least spend like even 10 minutes of just, okay, what would I like to see from my business? If anything was possible, like what could that be? And then just go through the week that way. Just even having that thought of reconnecting or, getting back in touch, I think is just that little bit of energy that just gets you going into other things happening. So it is that intention and being willing to do that, even just for a moment, to get connected to your customers and all that good stuff, even just to ourselves. It starts with connecting back to ourselves, I think, too. So, all right. Anyone else want to share? Christina?
I loved how she said
right.
intentionality. Sorry, I'm a hot mess. It was a snow day and there was like no snow.
Great to
So
see
the
you.
kids have been driving me up the wall. So we're just kind of rolling. But yeah, I like how she said intentionality. Excuse me. A lot of times I've been thinking lately, like, oh, if I were to get a 9 to 5, this and that, yada, yada. But then it's like, at a 9 to 5, like, you don't work how you want to work. And so sometimes I feel myself taking advantage of the fact of, oh, I can do it whenever. And then whenever never comes, like you get too comfortable in that position and you don't like force your own hand to work the business when it's like the simplest thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good reminder. That's great, Christina. Yes, being that someday on the calendar isn't actually a day, or whenever isn't actually a time on the clock or whatnot. I totally get that. Totally understand. And then with kids, my gosh, throw those girls in there and things are just all crazy. And you, like, even Jan had said in her Voxer there, or something about, you wake up and all of a sudden you've got a child that's sick, and now that changes your whole day, because now you have a kid at home that you weren't expecting to have. We just have to roll with the punches. You know what I mean? I think that's part of it, is we have to be flexible, but still have that intentionality behind it. So. All right, Anne or Vanessa, do you have any takeaways you want to share? Anne?
Yeah, I'll share. One of the things that I thought was good, we all know this, but the goals, like, because everybody's in a different place right now, but whatever our goal is for our business, make sure the activity, is supported in the weekly plan sheet and your IPA checklist. So maybe it's just connecting with, like you were saying, Ramona, maybe 10 customers a week. So what does that look like if that's a goal? So just kind of reminding myself, one, define the goal that I want, as we wrap out the seminar year. And then just reminding me, does my weekly plan sheet support that goal that I want? And then to track it with the IPAs. It's a good reminder. I mean, I think you have this in the boards, these 4 sheets.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll show you guys where you can find them too.
Yeah.
For some of you that may not have seen that yet.
Yeah.
But yes, I put them in there already.
Yeah. I just, for me, that's kind of what jumped down, is to do something on purpose, and then to schedule and make time for it. And, to be intentional. But to be intentional, I've got to figure out what is the goal that I'm going to put, to go for. Kind of all works together. So that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Thank you. Vanessa, you're unmuted. Do you want to share?
Sure. Yes.
And by the way, I love your bangs. Just saying. I haven't seen you or look, obviously. I love your hair. Super cute.
Thank you so much. Well, my goal has been to do at least $1,000 wholesale. And that's the only thing I can focus on each month, is that I can look at my numbers and see what I need to do in order to get to the $1,000. And I'm not focusing on anything else. I'm not focusing on faces or anybody, but I am starting to talk about Mary Kay more and getting a couple of new customers. And I did go back to work, and it's really helped tremendously. It's helped improve my Mary Kay business as far as like my existing customers and keeping me on track for doing my 1,000, because I no longer have to worry about my Mary Kay paying our serious bills.
Mhm.
And that's taken a huge stress off of me. So I'm really super happy at it. However, I did not get time off to fly to Idaho after I bought the tickets. So my time off was denied. And then for my wedding anniversary, my time off has been denied. So it makes it less like, I like to be more in control of my business and my life. But for right now, it's just necessary. But I'm genuinely happy, besides those couple things. But focusing on the goal is extremely important, because that's the only goal I can focus on, is just making sure I do that $1,000 wholesale a month. And I've done it since September. So I've been consistently doing over 1,000 every month.
Well, there you go. That's awesome, Vanessa. Yeah. I think that what I kind of hear from what you just shared was just having one thing to focus on, because sometimes we're like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, and we get so like all over the place with our we can't focus because there's too many things to focus on. That makes sense. So just having that one clear goal for you, you could get your head wrapped around that, and you're like, okay, this is what I can focus on. And also that sense of peace and relief that you got from just having that stream of income coming in, allowing your Mary Kay business to continue on its own and be like a happy place rather than a struggle place at the moment. You know, it's great that you have something in place that's serving you and allowing you to fall in love with your business again. You know, I think that that's what this is all about, is just finding your way to, and you've navigated through that yourself. So that's awesome. I love it. That's so great. Well, good. Okay, so let's see. I will show you. Why don't I show you guys, because this is kind of a big deal with the boards. You've been hearing us mention the word boards, what that is. I want to show you what that is, because it's a really cool website. Let me see if I can get it pulled up here. Where is it? Okay, so this is boards. If you see that, it's just the app.boards.com. You just pull it up on your phone and it's called Boards. It's a board app that you can, it's an app you can download onto your phone, but you can also access it on your computer, obviously. But what this is doing and serving for me that I think will be helpful for you is just having kind of one place where I can very quickly and easily post something, upload something, and it's like immediate. I don't have to remember to go, oh yeah, I need to email this out, I got to do that, or whatever, you know, those things that like kind of bug us. This is something that I find hopefully for you too will be very helpful and convenient. So once I think I have sent invitations to some of you, not everyone yet, because I'm still just getting this set up. What if you get an invitation, go ahead and accept it. It just means that you can log on to the app, but each board is something different. So you'll see there's many boards over here, but you wouldn't have all of these on yours. Those are just happen to be ones that I have as well. The one that you'll see when you log in is going to be the one that says Dreamers. So when you click on it, you'll see all these different kind of like folders. And so in these folders, just as an example, under calendar and events, you'll always be able to like click on this, and then you'll see the email that has reminders about what we're doing, all that good stuff. And then conferences that are coming up. I mean, just different things. It's easier to narrow down and sift through all of the noise, you know, especially like on Facebook. It's great if I post a calendar or whatnot, but then you got to scroll through to figure out where the calendar went if you didn't save it. those are just things that kind of bug me and are time wasters. So I'm hoping to kind of introduce this to you guys to make it easier for you to find things, locate stuff. In addition to just having kind of little posts and stuff here, this is where I put the Boss Babe stuff, resources and everything. When you click on the Game Changer resources, this is what Anne was talking about. These are the links to all of what she was talking about. Jan Thetford was talking about in the Voxer. So these were all the supporting documents. So you can literally just go onto the Boards app and then click on that. And then you can go right to, I'll just show you how it works. Go right to the bubble sheet and you have it here. You can print it out. And it's as easy as that. So it takes a little getting used to just kind of understanding how everything's laid out, but hopefully it will be helpful for you. For example, the lookbook, if you wanted to send it to a customer, this link is always the same and it will always have the most current lookbook. So you can literally copy and paste any of that information that's in this Boards app. You can just go up here, copy link, and it will copy this right here. And then you could text it to a customer, you could email it, you could message her, the same thing, but this is always here just for you to access yourself. Also information, I mean, I just put random stuff in here that's just supporting you in your business. Let's just click on party documents, for example. A lot of this stuff is going to be updated, but here's another spot where you can just click on something. This is our like closing, menu and sheet and everything for parties. It's right here at your fingertips. So now you can download it, print it out, make your copies if you need to, and all that kind of stuff. So any questions on kind of the basics of that? I just want you guys to know where to find things quicker and easier. And then when you are on your phone too, like, let me just show you an example of a script. Like, here's a script. You can literally, like, on your phone, you can actually copy this and paste it into a text message, like with one click. You don't have to like highlight it and do everything. It literally will be in your keyboard on your phone. So there's other like even techie stuff on there that can make it even more interesting and fun and easier. So that's also why this Boards app is kind of easy and user friendly as well. It just saves you time on like, what's the script I'm supposed to share with whatever, whoever, what was I supposed to say? All of them are listed in here, so you can literally just copy and paste them. So just trying to keep things as simple as possible. One of the things at leadership that I think it was the Dr. Gilday, she was like, in our business, we just have to have stuff that's easy, making things easy to learn, easy to sell, and then easy to earn. Like, we just have to keep everything as simple as possible for us to be able to feel empowered in our business. So this was one thing that I just started to implement. So I hope you guys find it helpful. If you have questions on how it all works, just let me know. But that's what this whole little section is. So think of it kind of like a new website for our unit, basically, and all the information will be there. Okay, so the other thing, any questions on that before I go on to just a couple other things, and then we'll do a little leadership recap, some more stuff. All good on that? Okay. All right, so leadership recap. How on earth do I possibly do that? So what I was going to do is I wanted to share Ryan Rogers' speech with you guys. And I guess we could take a vote. Either I could do the share the speech now, or I can go over some other things and I can just share with you guys the speech to watch later. It's like maybe 10 minutes long. So do you guys kind of want to listen together and to him, or do you want me to cover some other stuff from leadership? It was pretty powerful. Share other things Vanessa's votes for. I know you guys want to know what the secrets are. That's what it is.
That's what we want to know.
They're like, we can watch him, like Ryan,
Yeah,
Rogers,
yes.
whatever. Yeah.
I'm
can
in
watch
agreement. I
him
want to hear
later.
what hear about you.
Well, I'm going to send you guys each the link to watch it because I really feel like you need to. It was pretty spectacular. Ryan Rogers, for those that maybe didn't know yet, he has been promoted. This is Mary Kay's grandson. Richard Rogers was his dad. Remember, he was the CEO of Mary Kay, and that was Mary Kay's son. So now we're what is that, third generation coming down, and he's now our chief executive officer. So this was his first event as the CEO. And it was just really, obviously, you know, in the room with everyone, it was quite powerful, and just so cool that, you know, Mary Kay's grandson is now, you know, there's video recaps of her saying, you know, you're going to be the president of Mary Kay someday, you know, and then here he is at age 46 or whatever, you know, the CEO of this multi-billion-dollar company, which they noted was very close to the age that Mary Kay was when she launched Mary Kay Inc., you know. So anyway, it was all just very cool. So I'll send you guys the link. I know I did take a video of it at leadership, but I know it was all wonky. This is an actual a real video from our virtual links and stuff, so it'll be much easier to listen to. Okay, so I know you guys want to know all the other fun things. Okay, so with the company highlights, I did want to share with you guys that the Mary Kay Ash Charitable Foundation is now up to 87 million that they've donated to the two causes, right? Cancers that affect women, the research behind that, and then also helping to, you know, help end domestic violence and support shelters and all that kind of stuff. So that's a new milestone that they've reached, is $87 million in donations since 1996, I think is when they started that. And then if some of you guys remember, from well, it was in December when they had the 60% off Mary Kay sale. They basically gave us an extra 10% to boost up our profits and stuff. Mary Kay had that day was the best day in the entire company history. And it was actually triple our best day. So that really spoke volumes to corporate on how excited we got for an extra 10%, and what that really did for our businesses. So anyway, fingers crossed, maybe there's some other fun things like that that will come about for us, but they just really saw, wow, like we literally way exceeded their expectations, and they had already kind of beefed up what their expectations were, because they know when they give us this challenge that we usually go above and beyond, but this was like triple what they thought was going to happen. So I think it was 67% or 68% higher than like, think of every June year end that we've had, month end, you know, all of those combined in 60 years. And that day we did triple whatever the highest one of those days was. So, I mean, it's hard to kind of fathom in your own brain how that is actually possible. But yeah, so needless to say, yeah, it was 65% of an increase over all of our 60 years. So pretty fabulous. So that's all of us making a little bit more money with our Mary Kay businesses from that. So thank you, Mary Kay, for doing it. All right, so a couple things I want to share with you, and then I'll talk products, of course. But there's a lot of focus on the Mary Kay app. So there's something called stickiness when it comes to your customer base and wanting to have people obviously stick with you, right? And just know, okay, when I shop for Mary Kay, it's going to be with, you know, my Mary Kay consultant. If I shop for mascaras, I want to go to Mary Kay. I want to have everything at my fingertips, kind of like our Amazon, you know, app on our phone. How easy is it to click there, order it, and then it's shipped out, right? So we want to be just as easy and comfortable as the Mary Kay, as Amazon, you know, is to our customers. So encouraging all of us to do some kind of challenge, and I'll actually give you guys, I'll post it on the boards there, some information like a script that you can share with customers to try to download the app. And what I'm doing, which was a tip that we got from conference, is giving a 10% discount on their first order through the app. So they have to download the app, they register as your customer, and then when they place an order that way, you can give them a 10% discount. That's just an idea of something that you can do. But the more that we can get our customers on the app, the better, because there's a lot of things that just pop up for them that say, hey, product reorder reminders, a little bit easier and more concise than the product emails and stuff like that that come out. I mean, those are effective, of course, but just really focusing on that app. And then the second one is the Skin Analyzer, the Skin Analyzer app, and really utilizing that. The biggest tip I got from leadership as far as that app goes is having your customers take their photo every quarter. So when a new lookbook comes out, you offer your customers, hey, it's time for you to take a skin analyzer shot of your skin. Let's see how your skin's progressing or whatever. It's kind of like a report card in a sense that you can have with your customers so that they can see, oh yeah, my skin really is doing better because I started on the Time-Wise skincare, or you know what, I'm not really getting the results that I want to. Maybe it's opening up a place of conversation to see if there's any adjustments you need to make in their skincare regimen. So, but what's cool is that you're making it be a third party, like the analyzer is telling you what your skin really needs. It's not me trying to convince you that this is what you need. Like Mary Kay in our product line, there's certain things for certain people, and you need to know what those are and really help them get the products that they need for themselves. So anyway, I thought that was really cool. So just have your customers like, hey, just a friendly reminder, the lookbook's coming out and maybe it's time to download that Skin Analyzer app and take a shot. Send me the results. I'd love to see them, and we can talk about it or whatnot. So that was one great tip I thought was really good about the app. And then the, let's see, the products. Okay, so they talked a lot about the phase outs, the discontinued products. They're really trying to just get everyone's head wrapped around like why these things happen, and that they're not out to get us and like ruin our, oh my gosh, like what are they doing? They're taking away that one classic blonde pencil that like, everybody on the planet supposedly loves. And now there's reasons why that stuff happens. And just as a reminder that it's all in our best interest, whatever it is. And so one thing that I didn't really think of before, that the chief scientific officer, I think Dr. Gilday has a new title. It's like chief innovative officer or something like that. But there's some things like supply chain wise, like there might be one ingredient that Mary Kay no longer has access to that goes in a certain product that now is not viable, that we can no longer produce. And it's not because we don't want to have it. I mean, there's other reasons why, we can't do it. Or the sunscreens, for example, Mary Kay is still working on updating their sunscreen. And in every single country, there are different regulations for SPF and what type of, how in Hawaii and stuff and places like that, they're trying to make sure the sunscreens aren't going to affect the coral in a negative way. Like everybody has different ranges though of like what is considered safe. And so with Mary Kay, they have all these different countries. They're a global country or a global company. So they're having to work with each individual country to try to get it. And how do you produce something like in a mass produce something that's trying to now go to 30 different countries? You know what I mean? There's just a lot of things behind the scenes that they come up to that they don't expect, maybe at the time. So it's not just like, oh, let's reformulate the SPF and get it out there. Well, there's a lot of hoops they have to jump through in order to get that to come to fruition. So for right now, of course, they are focusing on the North America region and making sure that we get that. So it should be within the next, 12 months or so that we get new products with SPF in them. So our new sunscreens and all that good stuff. So they are working feverishly to get that done. I know that was one product that everyone's dying to have come back. So, and other reasons too, just might be that they need to make room for something new. Mary Kay, we're focusing on innovation and growth and being, someone that is like disrupting the marketplace. Like what can we bring out that we have in our hands that we can really help to launch with with the beauty consultants to help them increase their level of productivity and profit and all of that. Okay, so there is one product that I know for sure that some of you probably use, or in a lot of your customers too, is the tone correcting serum. And that is being phased out. And there was something that I heard that I had not heard before, but the Serum C is actually more effective than the tone correcting serum when it comes to age spots. That was like news to me. I'm like, okay, but we had this tone correcting serum, and now they're like, nope, vitamin C, the Serum C is the one that's going to be the most effective. So that's just one thing to keep in mind, that we do have something that's helpful for that. So don't worry too much about the tone correcting serum going away, especially because we actually have something new coming out that is a skin brightening booster. So Mary Kay is going to be bringing out for the spring 2 more boosters, additional boosters. One of them is a resurfacer. The other one is a skin brightening booster. So I'll be continuing to do more training on kind of how the boosters are really intended to help enhance our skincare regimen. It's not to replace anything, but to enhance, right? The whole term boost, it's boosting your skincare effects. But there are some things that are specific to each booster that can't be combined with other things. So there'll be lots of training and education that'll be coming on that. Nothing like out of this world. I'll just tell you, like the resurfacer that we have cannot be used with retinol 0.5. And I can't even tell you like how many times they said like, no one who's using retinol 0.5 can be using this resurfacer. And then we're like, wait, what? Like we want to use it all. But they said, no, you cannot do that. And don't be mixing your boosters all in one and then spread it all over your face. It's not going to help, and it's not going to make it go away any faster or anything like that, which leads me to the term skin cycling. So skin cycling is something I'm really excited about rolling out to you guys. And it's just a trendy term, okay, that has been around for a while. And it's not trademarked or anything, but it was a dermatologist who posted something on TikTok a while back, and it went viral, of course. And the funny part about it is it's kind of what we've already been doing. So it's not like this is a whole new thing, regimen per se, but it's more about allowing the products to really do what they're meant to do. So sometimes skin cycling basically is just kind of like a 4-day, if you will, like regimen. It's basically supplementing your supplements, but in a way that's kind of more spread out over the course of the week. So you really kind of have your skin has a chance to take a break from all of the active ingredients. And then when it does get a new active ingredient on its skin, it goes, oh, this is the facial peel. Now I know exactly what to do. It's not confused because like it had the facial peel and then it has this on top and then it has that. And it's like, it's all confused. So to me, I think of it as like a confused mind does nothing. So it's like a confused skin does nothing either. So we want to maximize the benefits of our products by not using too many of them too often. So I'll be kind of going over piecemeal, kind of breaking it down for us. And I'll be doing that not only here with this, during this time here, but I'll also be sharing on the Beauty Made Simple Facebook group as well to kind of introduce the customers to it. So if any of you are interested in taking your skin to the next level, then I want you to do a skin analyzer on yourself. So I want you to take that picture and I want you to save it on your phone because it'll be a great opportunity for you to do your own before and after cycling your skin for so many weeks and stuff. So if you want to do one easy, simple thing, just give yourself a new skin analyzer report. That way you can kind of have a starting point for yourself. The best way you're going to sell our products is obviously by using them yourselves. And I think sometimes as consultants, we kind of think we know what we're doing, but yet there's still things where it's like, gosh, yeah, I'm not really sure if I should put that on over this, or which way was it? And, you know, so if we're a little bit confused sometimes when we have so many product options, we can, you know, assume our customers are probably the same. So treat yourself as a new customer that's starting to start fresh on that. So what I would like to do is for next week, like I mentioned, we're going to have Linda Tupin as our featured national. So we'll have her share her game-changing moment, and then we can discuss that. And then I'm going to kind of take the skin cycling into a little bit more depth and just share with you exactly what it is, and then take the first night of the skin cycling and kind of cover what that would be and what that might look like. The first night is considered an exfoliation night that you're going to do, prepping your skin and exfoliating. So I'll kind of break that down so you guys really understand which products are the best for doing that, and how you can share that with your customers and everything. So I didn't want to try to do it all at once because I feel like it's a little bit once you get the whole picture, yes, it's very simple, but at the beginning, it might be a little bit like, wow, okay, there's a lot to it, but it actually simplifies things. So just to give you hope, it really does simplify your skincare regimen, and then you'll see your skincare results be even better. So we'll do that for next week. So we'll start with the night one of the skin cycling, and I'll go over that information with you guys next week. In addition to Linda Tupin. So for those of you that want to do this, this is the guide that I do have in the Boards app, the Beauty Boss guide that kind of takes us along each week. There is a points, a point scoreboard kind of thing here. And they're all different IPAs. Even just being on this Zoom today, you get points for doing that. So if you want to participate and kind of, you know, add up your points and keep this as a focus for the week, I highly recommend you do. You can pull that out of the guide and fill that out. And then next week we can add up our points and kind of see where we're at. So that's something that I want to encourage you to do, just to have a track to run on and kind of know where to focus, right? So, all right, so we'll end there for today, so we can be just under an hour. I appreciate you guys being here with me. It's so great to see your faces and all that good stuff. And does anybody have any parting thoughts or questions before we get off today? Besides, have a good one.
No, but thank you. This is really good. So appreciate it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
All
And
right.
it's
Yeah,
good,
thank
and
you,
it's
Margaret.
good to see everybody too.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
Very helpful.
Yes, yes, great. Well, I hope to see you guys back on, and tell your other you know, teammates and everything too to jump on with us next week as well. And I will see you then. So have a great day, you guys.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks. Bye, everyone.